The show focused on delivering beneficial information on everything to do with products and services that can improve your life. This is Experts on Call on AM650.
And welcome back to the program. I'm Stirling Fox, joined in studio by the founder and president of FairTradeWorks. It's a real pleasure to have Jim Perkins on the program today. And Jim, talking about your new company, it's only 6 months old, new to the Vancouver and Canadian marketplace, because you're launching here in British Columbia, but you fully expect this to be a national company in fairly short order, because you have a game plan and you bring something to the marketplace, particularly to the consumer, that doesn't exist anywhere in Canada right now. So first of all, good on you for coming up with this terrific idea. And let's talk a little bit about the toys, the new, it's 2013. I've said this a few times, and you're a cutting edge kind of guy when it comes to interacting technology with the age-old construction industry. And there's some pretty revolutionary, nifty stuff going on out there.
Right.
So tell us a little bit. You've already talked about sitting down with an advisor, getting the details of the project that you have in mind, whether it's a new home or an addition to an existing home or a renovation. Once the details are fully explained, all the costing out, then you can also get a computer model of what that's going to look like.
Right.
And here's where it gets really cool. Not only do you have the computer model at the beginning of it all, so you can visualize what this is going to be like, but as the actual construction phase begins, you can follow this in 3D on your computer at home.
That's correct. Like I mentioned before, I have in-house software developers that work in my office, run my IT department, but as well as keep us on the forefront of technology and, you know, like you said, the moving times. But yeah, we have custom-built software for the FairTradeWorks model where the homeowner, once we engage in their project, they actually get a login which they can log into our web-based software from their tablet, phone, laptop at work or anywhere in the world if they're on holiday even, you know. We've been in that situation
sure,
where we've had overseas clients that can monitor their project, and they basically get a dashboard where there's picture uploads, the timeline that was agreed at the beginning ticks down there. There's a section that shows where the funds transactions are scheduled, so they can, you know, that's all planned out for them. They can just log in, check when they have to get their money ready to pay,
right.
Inspection times. There's direct messaging between themselves and their construction advisor, outside of email, outside of cell phones, where it's like a instant text messaging where they can log into the software. And it instantly reports back to their advisor any questions, any concerns, and it's also a record of the whole process, so that if there's any other questions or queries, we can go back into the history of the project and say, oh, well, yes, no, so
sure.
So it's very fair again for everybody.
Right.
And again, it's a mobile piece of software, so they could be in Home Depot or anywhere in the world or in a restaurant, see something cool that they would enjoy, snap a picture of it, upload it directly to the software, goes directly to their advisor and say, hey, what do you think of this? This is cool. Maybe
we'll put one of these in when we're finished.
Maybe we'll put one of these in the kitchen. About
sure.
Any given situation, right? It's again, it's a modern times. I'm a modern guy. I'm a young guy, and my office is young and aggressive and tech savvy and environmentally friendly and paperless. So yeah, we have all these technologies on hand, and luckily enough to have the resources to be able to develop this stuff and be at the forefront of these kind of movements.
Jim, you talked about money, and you mentioned the word escrow in the previous segment. Now, obviously, once the fully apprised customer or consumer,
right.
You know well in advance, exactly down to the last nickel, since we're not using pennies anymore,
right.
how this thing is going to cost.
Right.
So then, what is it, 50% up front, 50% on completion? They got to buy supplies, lumber, cement, whatever.
Yep.
They got to bring in the contractors. This requires dough right from the get-go. How does that work?
Right. Again, transparency is the big word here, where we set every project's a little bit different, and timelines, you know, and clients' demand, and might be huge time demand. They might want to do in sections, all these things. But anyhow, it's the same model, the similar model for the whole thing as far as the funds. But again, we lay out in the original scope package exactly when we're going to require money at what stage of the project, and because of the timelines, we know we know within a few days when those are going to hit. So it's very easy financial planning for the homeowner. We are a certified escrow service, so yeah, we normally ask for a small deposit, and then there's going to be construction draws through the whole process.
Sure, for supplies, etc.
Yeah, exactly. But those construction progress draws, those monies are defined by a certain stage of the project. So At that given stage and day, we come in and do an inspection as the homeowner's advocate and as the contracts and trades too. So we can say, Mr. and Mrs. Consumer, we can guarantee this scope, this amount of work has been done. We're quantifying it. This amount of work has been done. It ties back to the original scope package. It all ties together. We sign off on it, and then the monies transfer from my company to the contracts and trades. And again, those segments, those increments, and the dollar value is all laid out at the beginning. So again,
no surprises.
No surprises. And the homeowner is completely comfortable with moving forward and say, I have no problem paying this because it's been done. It's exactly what we're asked for. It's exactly relates back to the scope package. And again, in the industry today, the contractor might say, oh, I need $20,000 for blah, 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 and all these technical terms. The homeowner has no way of quantifying that.
Exactly.
So they're lost. They're at the mercy. They've got the checkbook ready, and they're nervous. They're unsettled. And again, it doesn't relate to all the companies, but as a blanket statement, we've all read the newspapers. We've all got a friend with a horror story. So
sure.
It's very relevant, and it's real. These are the real life situations that are happening on a daily basis.
Well, I've mentioned a certain degree of cynicism in the general population when it comes to this stuff, and again, partly because of our negative taxpayer experiences that we all shared, like it or not. But still, there's the surprises. Oh, they never said anything about that, and lo and behold, you wouldn't have believed the bill when we finally got. Well, this FairTradeWorks is all about no surprises, isn't it?
It's about no surprises, transparency, and being accountable, And I think there's been a big standoff between homeowners and commercial clients and the contracts and trades, and it's this almost like a standoff cat and mouse game, which we're eliminating, and just we're coming together, laying it on the table, making sure it's very clear and fair and transparent, and just doing our jobs and building these things and producing an end product at the end, which we said we would do in the beginning. It's not a big battle. It's just
a different approach, Jim.
It's a different approach.
I mean, this is the first time, and I've experienced the joys of home ownership and built a home in the Metro Vancouver area. I've been through all of this, and I've never encountered a company that is set up to be on my side quite as much as FairTradeWorks. It's quite a concept, and you are to be congratulated. This is good stuff.
Yeah, we're on both sides. I was chatting when we were developing this project. A friend of ours said, divorced us, because there is huge stress involved. There's huge dollars.
Oh yeah,
huge stress, and he went through a large renovation, and the stress nearly killed him. It was nearly a divorce over it, which is absolutely ridiculous. You're simply remodeling your house or building something or creating a vision, and we just don't think it should be a stressful process. We should think it would be an enjoyable process that in the end everybody's happy and accountable and walk away.
Well, again, as we've mentioned already a couple of times, in these changing economic times, the reality of the real estate marketplace has caused some people to rethink those plans, and maybe we're not going to sell and bail at this point. Maybe we're just going to stick around for a few years, spruce the old girl up and stick around for a few years.
Exactly.
And there you are, FairTradeWorks. So, folks, if you're in that mindset right now, if you're looking at maybe building a cottage up at the lake up there in the Caribou, or just adding something to the existing house, maybe renovating something inside, FairTradeWorks, we are construction is the tagline. But we've got your back, to be perfectly honest with you, Jim. Now, tell us about the website and give us the address people listening to us right now can contact you directly at.
Okay, well, our website is www.fairtradeworks.biz. You can go on there, and all the details of the company, how it works, are right there, and you can contact directly through an online form. You could email me directly, jim.perkins@fairtradeworks.biz. But I think the easiest way would be to go through the website, fill in the form. Our contact number's right there. Whatever you feel most comfortable with, just give us a call and we'll be right there for you.
FairTradeWorks.biz, B-I-Z, because they're a new millennium kind of company. No .nets or coms for these guys. And Jim, your staff all set to go as soon as anybody, what you're looking for is people with ideas and a lot of question marks after those ideas.
Absolutely. Yeah. My staff is ever ready, and we pride ourselves in fast response time. You give us a call and we're right there.
Excellent. Jim Perkins, a real pleasure having you in on Experts on Call. Look forward to another opportunity to speak with you soon.
Thank you, Stirling. I really appreciate it.